I am Adrienne Chapman. I'm a lecturer on the course, and with me today is...
Josh Harris, and I am a demonstrator on the course.
Excellent. Josh, could you remind us what we've asked the students to do?
So this coursework is all about making a game that has a narrative and has the player make some interesting, meaningful choices that affects the narrative.
Brilliant. And it looks like our very first game now is Starfall, Chapter 1. So, interestingly, we start... I'm in love with the stars. Very pretty. The controls, though, the little bit of information here: left mouse to shoot, okay. Right mouse button to thrust, towards cursor, number keys to choose dialogue options, space to advance the dialogue, left shift key to skip the dialogue, left shift key, okay, and escape key to pause. Josh, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to forget that half a second in, so please feel free to remind me.
Yeah. Left mouse button, right mouse button, number key, space, left shift. Okay.
Alrighty. So, let's go try to play. Ooh, we've got some... Oh, I'm shooting. Okay. Incoming transmission. Greetings, Crane. This is General Lupin of the Union Polaris. Reports in Sector 5C for immediate deployments. Hold on just a moment, General. This is so cute. General Lupin. You work for anyone. All right. Wrong.
So
I only work for credits. I could buy a lot. This is excellent. I'm feeling excited about this. I'm actually really enjoying the music. It's the perfect choice right now. Just send me the coordinates. He's paying me enough money now.
So first of all, first impressions, it looks like it's a really nice theme going all throughout, like from font to all the UI elements to the background. Everything seems to tie really well, very nice kind of sci-fi vibe. Okay, and you can give it a marker down the bottom left.
I'm working on that. Oh my, I'm getting kind of mean here. Whoa, there's a backstory. Wow. So we've gotten a whole bunch of backstory. It might be at the very edge of possibly too much at this point, but I really am actually engaged in this backstory that's happening here.
It's a lot of setup, I guess.
Yes.
I guess the idea is you've got some context behind the gameplay before you actually dive in and do anything. Okay. So if you remember the right click button, press towards the cursor.
What am I doing? Right click?
Yeah, you can do that down towards the siege arrow.
Ah, look at that. Oh wait, do I still want to kill these people? Am I trying to kill these people?
I assume they're your friends.
Oh, they're my friends. I shouldn't shoot
shooting
at
you.
them. Alright, let's go flying. Oh, no, let's not fly over there. Let's fly over here. Oh, the siege is this way. There's a marker. I missed the marker completely. We're following the little siege arrow. It's very cute.
Yes, it's a nice way of sort of letting the player know sort of what they're doing, where their goal is. And it moves as you're moving. It kind of like changes its direction slightly as you get closer towards it, which is cute.
I think my followers are drunk. Do you notice them?
Oh, wavering side to side.
Yes. Oh my, there's a big siege coming. Alright. Whoa!
Okay.
Captain Shash. Okay. Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, I'm totally gonna double deal if I can. Oh, I'm gonna turn against the Union. That's it. We're going.
Right. Wait, what's F mark? It seems to be a really complicated payment scheme, but it's different.
Ooh.
Okay.
Should we install the random weapon that might completely take over our system? Okay. Oh goodness.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Whoa! Sorry. I bumped into a planet accidentally.
Alright, so let's see what's combat. I assume the link red one as well. Yeah, so you can have that it's off.
I'm so bad at these games. Whoever designed this definitely play tested with me in mind.
Not bad though, you managed to take down a lot of them and lose about half your health, so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm totally gonna go fight. I'm angry. Here we go.
We've only got 3 friends left. So what I remember from the expo is that different choices give you sort of different upgrades to your ship. So that this cluster weapon you got seems to shoot those sort of slow-moving sort of bullets that fire around. So I think the idea is that depending on which branch you take, depends on what weapons you give it. It seems to be a really nice way of incorporating risk and reward into different branches of
This is excellent.
The presentation wise, this is really smooth.
My little ships take damage. I can see it in the ships themselves.
Oh, I see. So the weapons really when you hit something, it explodes in you could start with 3 bullets. That's really nice.
Yeah, they keep launching.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never gonna win.
So is there any obvious help bar on the big ship? You can see how far through like you are, or it's just fire until. Oh, is that one backwards there?
Oh, I'm exhausted.
I feel like I'm more than just trying to big one.
Okay, so I feel like we might want to start while I either get completely defeated or never defeat these guys, talking through the marking criteria on this. Bug-wise,
Yeah, so,
I actually think we're doing some excellent. Let's start with bugs on the quality metric.
Yeah. Excellent. Says the game is playable and reasonably complex. There are no obvious bugs, which from the looks of things, I think that fits.
Yes, we are easily up an excellent on that one. And it feels like a fairly complicated game. They've got a lot going on. Yeah, the complications alone, they're dealing with a lot. They're showing a lot of information, there's a lot of movement, and there's a lot of different styles going on between the cutscenes and this play. So it's a complex game and there's no bugs. Excellent. What's next?
Yeah, it was a worth discussing prize-worthy.
Tell me what prize-worthy says.
Prize-worthy says the game is playable and is of higher complexity. There are no obvious bugs.
Let's edge it up to prize-worthy. I'm actually really happy with this game and its quality.
Yeah, so prize-worthy in terms of bugs. Yeah, and then so next we've got the presentation.
Yep.
So if it was an excellent presentation, so key information is shown clearly, consistent with appealing graphics, good use of audio, effects and or music.
Yep. So there's not only... Actually, I'm going to pause here for just a moment and see if I can change... we're going to escape this. We're going to go to... So actually, let's talk a little bit about information presentation on this. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit so that it's we very clearly have some good sound, but so we can hear. So what does excellent look like on information presentation?
So the excellent looks like a key information is shown clearly, consistent and appealing graphics, good use of audio, effects and or music.
Excellent. And what does prizeworthy look like at this point?
So prizeworthy is novel yet clear ways of showing key information, consistent and thematically resonant graphics, excellent use of both audio effects and music.
So I don't think we're up at novel yet. I think they have done an excellent, if not a smidge above excellent. In particular, I really love watching the damage happening on both my ships and the bad guys that I'm shooting against. So I think that right there was a really wonderful way to give that bit of information.
Yeah, as well as the sort of like targets, so the arrows pointing towards where your objectives are.
Yes.
And the little mini map in the top right corner.
It's really well
where
done.
the enemies around you are.
Absolutely, really well done. So what's after the... So I think that's a mark slightly above excellent on that. And what's next within the quality?
It's gameplay.
This was so much fun.
Excellent gameplay. It would be a wide set of complementary mechanics and intuitive and smooth usable controls that lead to enjoyable and meaningful play.
I think they do. I mean, you saw me struggling a little bit. I'm on a laptop. There is no mouse. So using the touchpad on this one was actually a little bit difficult. I couldn't remember which was left, right, and my fingers kept getting across. But other than that, it was intuitive and it was easy. And I mean, even I got this one.
Yeah. I think that's it. You can, with the touch, if you can play it like this with the touchpad, then it's definitely sort of well thought through. It's kind of really intuitive to just point your cursor somewhere and click to shoot in that direction, or right click to thrust towards that direction. Yeah, and then you've got the sort of upgrades. So in that first playthrough, you picked up the cluster bomb upgrade, which seems to change your shooting from just a laser beam to sort of like a little bomb thing that's split off into a star shape. And so looking at the enemies you were trying to fight with, that kind of made a lot of sense. You had like a big swarm of enemies, and that kind of let you take down big groups of them in sort of a few shots rather than loads of shots. So all those things sort of tie in really well, and with the space theme, it thematically fits. Really nice,
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. What's next on our list?
The next on the list is the story engine. So, if it was, or start it good, I guess. So an effective story engine that's integrated with the game world. There are some examples where the story impacts the game world and is impacted by events from the game world.
So in this case, we saw that gotta go around the planet. My choice of double crossing my mercenary buddies in this case, actually had a problem, right? Or led to a difference where first I hit them and then I was double crossed by this person. So right now I'm playing it that I'm not going to double cross, and we'll see what happens. We're just going to hang up on him. There we go. So, here we go. Whoa, I just crashed. Whoops. We can see I just had a little mouse pad confusion there.
Okay, so now you're sieging the planet, is that right?
I think so.
Oh, okay. There we go.
But in this case, I haven't double-crossed Lupin. I have, yeah.
Yeah, so you went along with what Lupin said rather than double-crossing him and getting the extra money from the others.
But look at this. I thought I was just going for a siege, but now he's sending me after the mothership, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, you've got, so this is based on the story of the Wolf and the Crane.
Wolf and the Crane, yep.
Yeah. Where it doesn't pay to go through the evil. And it seems that now you've done one evil deed, you're kind of coerced into doing another deed.
And look at this. This time I have a blast shield now instead of... so previously I had my little bomb, I don't know what they were called, the extra bombs. This time, because of that set of choices, I seem to have a blast shield.
All right. So it looks like then it's next to your health bar. There's a little blue arrow. So I guess that means when you get hit, it takes down the blast shield before your health.
Thank goodness I've got little helpers, because my aim sucks. Oh no, I'm falling into a planet.
Oh, and you've lost your blast shield.
Oh well, short-lived.
Okay.
I do kind of like, actually, that I'm not, like, it's okay that I run into planets, and that, like, I'm actually kind of enjoying that. It's the point of the game is this narrative and this battle, and who the planets and this ship that I'm flying under. Oops.
I think another little detail that brings it all together is little trails behind all the ships.
Yes, it's just so well done. It really is. All right, so what is our next? I've gotten involved again. What is our next criteria?
Yes. So yeah, we haven't decided on what to assign the story engine. So we were saying that, so for the good, it was an effective story engine that's integrated to the game world, and there are examples where the story impacts the game and the game impacts the story. But I mean, would you say it's good, or would you say it's excellent in terms of the sort of narrative and story engine behind this?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So the story engine in this case, I believe good is an or and excellent is an and between those two things. So we have to decide whether the story impacts. First, there's one, and I'm going to get it wrong since they're coming to get me. One is the story impacts the choices in the game, and the other one is the choices in the game impact the story. So in this case, we've already seen that my choices do impact the story. I get a shield instead of a different gun. Now, do choices in the game impact the do elements in the game impact my choices? I'm not so sure about that one. Let's see. Oops. No, I just died, didn't I? Oh, I should have remained silent. Should we see if the men will pay the credits?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all dead.
Oh.
Whoa, that was harsh.
Yeah. So it didn't pay to go with the mercenary there.
No, it didn't. It didn't. But it does feel though that some of my choices are impacting the story flow. I wonder, it's a shame it's all at the end there. I'd like to go back and kind of, see if there's some way to either reason with them or anything else. I feel like we definitely have the one. I'm not entirely convinced we have an excellent. So I think maybe halfway between good and excellent on this one, because we don't have a firm and.
Okay.
Okay.
The or is in the satisfactory section. So it's the same description as before. And the good is with and, but I think it definitely fits halfway between the two.
Yeah.
Because the satisfactory is talking about a simple story engine with limited integration, and it's definitely more than that. But it's, not as strong of a link where it is both the story impacting the game and the game impacting the story.
Yeah.
So halfway between satisfactory and good?
I think so. And yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next section is agency.
Agency. And in that one, we're looking for kind of a nice pace. And in fact, it has a brilliant pace in this game. So we have a nice ascending pace. And it's also looking for multiple ways of writing the narrative, right, or displaying the narrative. And we're seeing, we're seeing the cutscenes. Have we seen anything else?
I mean, you've got the kind of battles in, but it seems that you kind of had to take down a mothership thing depending, like, no matter which choice you made before.
Yep.
But you do get the sort of different weapons. But yes, it's mostly through the kind of cutscenes with the text at the bottom.
The dialogue boxes I meant, yep.
Okay. So should I read out what a good is for the...
Yeah, why don't we start with that?
So, an interactive story with several branching points, some interesting choices, and a few attempts to manage player agency, using topology, narrative patterns, illusion of choice, etc.
And what is an excellent on this one?
So an excellent is an interactive story with several branching points, some interesting choices, and an effective system for managing player agency, i.e. using topology, narrative patterns, illusion choice.
So I think we're good. I don't know that I've been managed particularly well. I'm definitely flowing through some interesting branches, and there is ascending pacing. So let's stick with good on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And then now I think we're down into poetics.
Poetics. Yes. Okay, so if we went for good poetics, we'd be saying that there are narrative and gameplay complement one another as the key mechanics in keeping within the themes of the story.
So I feel like we're definitely in there. So we have the choice of mechanics that they've used in this case fits not only the theme that they're working on, but going back to the underlying story that they're building this on.
Yeah. So that was good. If it was excellent, it'd be narrative and gameplay support one another as the mechanics emphasize themes of the story.
I actually think we might be popping up there. I do feel like they're not quite supporting, but they're coordinated. The themes as well as the mechanics. It is compiled into a very nice, engaging game that kind of everything is balanced, or no, I don't want to say balanced, but helping each other. So I think we might be creeping up into the excellent category on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And then is the techniques. So this is talking about sort of pacing. So if it was good for techniques, we'd be talking about ascending pacing with a clear final peak and use of more than one game writing technique. For example, dialogues, in-game information, scripted events, cutscenes, in-media, ellipsis.
You know what? I think I might have answered this one on 2 ago instead of the right one 2 ago. So I definitely think we'll have to go back to that one. I was engaged in the play. It was too many thoughts. So how about this? I actually think there is clear ascending pacing. I actually think it's done. And in fact, I would even argue that there are kind of multiple like mini peaks, because especially if we go to do the siege and we don't betray them, and even when we do betray them, there's a really nice kind of battle there, and then there's more into a bigger battle. So I think that there's ascending pacing. There's 2 peaks at least. I'm only seeing one kind of engagement in the narrative, and that's with these dialogue boxes. And in fact,
there was the option in the gameplay where there has an arrow one way for fleeing and an arrow the other way for fighting, and you went after the fight path.
You are correct. You are correct. I was going to say, actually, as part of this set, I've actually hit a point now where I've gone through the same dialogue multiple times through we did choose your own story, and we're getting into the same loops. So, but you're right. So there's I could have fleed at one point. So okay. So we've got 2, and I actually think a very good ascension with possibly 2 peaks. So what does that get us to?
So if we have excellent, it would be ascending pacing with more than 1 peak and appropriate and consistent use of more than 1 game writing technique.
There we go. Okay.
That's right.
Now,
okay.
We need to go back up to the one that I thought we were answering.
The other one, agency. So
agency.
The branching points and an interactive story and making interesting choices.
Right. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I did actually answer that. So I do feel like we had lots of branching choices. I think we had some very interesting choices. The only thing I didn't feel we had was controlling me or, guiding me very well.
Yeah.
So
we currently have that down to good.
Yeah, I think that's actually exactly right. Okay, so now I think, are we at feedback?
Yes, so we're on feedback. If we go to what they've said about feedback, they've broken it down by section. So they have replayability and conciseness and game world impact narrative, which are the 2 main bits of feedback they got. So the first one, replayability and conciseness, is saying, during the first feedback meeting, it was highlighted to us that this project still needed a significant gameplay element, as our initial plans were more along the lines of a visual novel. We were also told that the story should strongly reflect the fable it's based on, which is the wolf and the crane in our case. For this reason, we have tried to make all the endings tell the moral of the story, which is expect no reward for serving the wicked. To do so in a way which still allows for meaningful decision in the game. Our approach was to have a morally unique journey leading to each ending. To ensure replayability of the game so multiple endings and storylines can be discovered, we have boiled it down to major story beats with just enough background information to make informed choices. Yep. So I think they've definitely done that. So the sort of moral of the story was conveyed sort of in both the cases we went through.
Yep.
And they've definitely implemented more gameplay elements than a visual novel. Certainly, you've got some really nice combat in there.
Yeah. I think they did some. I think it was done well reflected with a good implementation. Yeah.
Okay. So and then their second bit of feedback is talking about the game world impacting narrative, and they've said during the feedback session we understood the game world should impact the narrative and vice versa. In order to achieve the game world having an impact on the player, we created potential upgrades for the player-controlled ship that are unlocked through choices in the game. We've definitely seen those. Mm-hmm. To make sure the player has impact on the game world, all the triggerable quest lines spawn different enemies at different parts of the map, providing a dynamic game world. We also used the session to get feedback on usability, such as pausing the game during dialogue.
Yeah, key, especially for people like me.
Yeah, I think they definitely implemented all the feedback they've been given.
Yeah, I think they did, and successfully implemented it even. So I think we're in one of those categories.
Yes, so excellent is feedback was clearly articulated, interpreted, and reasonable changes have been successfully made.
Yep, there we go. All right, and as much as it's paining me, because I actually really would like to continue playing this game, I think we are now done this particular game, and on to the next one. All right, here's our second game, Pride of the Savanna. So there's some nice little background noises going on right now. And we've got a clear... Whoa, I'm fast lion. And this is going to be exactly the kind of game I don't do well at. Replenish your hunger, all right. So I'm going to get... So I don't like that. I just had to move my hands off of my keys to get to the mouse to click the next button.
Yeah, definitely should have a button saying space to close that, I think. If it's a fully keyboard-based game, like it seems to be.
Ooh! That was kind of scary. So when somebody talks to me, it's like this little old-fashioned arcade bleep. No parent for this baby rhino. I am starting to feel. I'm going to eat the baby. Oh, I do feel happy. But why is the baby there if I've eaten it? Oh, okay.
Oh, it disappeared. Okay. So it looks like the sort of game event of
Whoops.
it being eaten when you touch it and the story event of replenishing your hunger were kind of a little bit disconnected. But
Oh, I want to go up there. This is totally going to be... There we go. I don't know why I'm coming up here, but I'm not anymore. We're just going to go along this way. Alrighty, so I've eaten a baby rhino. I'm feeling all happy and full.
so I think from a narrative point of view, sort of from the start, it doesn't ever kind of state why you're kind of running along. Like there's no sort of
No,
goal
I'm just going. Exactly.
You're just going.
I'm totally stealing the hyena's food. I'm hungry. All right.
Did you eat the hyenas as well when you walked over them?
I think I just scared them away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would have liked to have eaten hyenas, really. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a bit of food all the way over there. Ah, come on, people. We're going to be here all day. Always play test.
Okay. Falling down somewhere? Alright.
I'm going somewhere. Ooh! It cries out. Yes. Oh, this is the hard choice. I'll spare the mouse. It's really not worth a mouthful. Okay.
I see. So earlier you saw that meat off in the distance. It was sort of through a narrow gap. Aha, and there. Oh, wonderful. So because you were nice to the mouse, you can now claim food that you wouldn't normally be able to claim.
And I will say, you know, in terms of the information design that we talked about in our previous coursework of, you know, kind of teaching as soon as you get the skill, they did a really nice job with that. They made me use the cue immediately in sight of that mouse so that I would remember to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, falling off. I do hate falling off of things you can't see, so I'm not enjoying that part of it.
Yeah, you don't know what you're falling into.
Yeah, you're jumping over into something else. Oh, here we go. Oopsie. Okay. Did I come this way already? I think I might have come this way. Oh, yep, here are my hyenas. I'll leave them alone this time.
Yeah, I think they've got so the way the camera is laid out, it kind of points to the right, because that's the direction you normally need to move. And then there's some sections that will double back to the left. You get kind of less warning of that platform coming up.
Exactly. Okay, so the question then becomes, am I just kind of going on? Oh, I fall into a hunter's trap, thank goodness, because I was just starting to wonder what's going to happen next. Obviously, I can't get out. I'm very hungry, huh? Oh. Wait, why did I die? Did I die?
No, you were stuck in a...
So now I'm really hungry. No, I think that might be the end. Was that the end?
Okay.
That was the end.
I think so. I said the end. Full stop.
I think I might have died and, you know, fallen from hunger, and then that doesn't seem very useful right now. I just pressed Q. Yeah, not very useful. So, I think we might have just hit the end of this. I can't go in any direction. Well.
Okay.
I think we'll need to restart the whole thing.
Yeah, so while we're doing that, shall we talk about the first criteria for marking, which is the quality, and the first section is the presentation.
Absolutely.
So, for a good presentation, we'll be talking about key information is shown clearly, graphics are consistent, appropriate use of audio, effects and or music.
Well, there was a nice lion roar. I kind of enjoyed being the lion when it roared. And there was background music. There was a bit of music every time the dialogue box came up. It was this very strange arcade sound, which did not go with the aesthetics of the world, but that's okay. Although speaking of this, yep.
Yeah, so the hunger bar is a very good way of displaying that sort of key bit of information.
Yeah.
Kind of that's the one thing you've got to keep your eye on, is not Starfall and Savanna. The information coming up in the kind of standard text boxes with the sort of clicking buttons are not the biggest.
Yeah.
It seems to jar with everything else.
Yes.
I see why they've done it, but you could kind of embed the text kind of better into the game world rather than this sort of big pop-up box that feels almost like a menu.
Yeah. I do wonder, so I've got this hunger bar. Part of this may not be so much the information design. Alright, so actually that's not true. Information design, it's okay. It's not doing anything absolutely horrible.
Yeah. I think the point that I touched on before about the sort of information of platforms coming up when you're moving to the left is a bit of a shame that it's kind of the camera's biased towards the right of the screen.
Yep.
I think especially for a platforming game, it's really good to have to notice about like what your aim is, and the whole falling down places you can't see the platform beneath you.
Yeah, the blind
I guess that
falls.
probably comes into gameplay later. But yeah. Okay. So if it was satisfactory information, the satisfactory presentation, we'd be talking about key information is shown, consistent graphics, some audio. So do you think it fits between satisfactory and good?
I think so, actually. I think so.
Yeah, I agree. It does some things quite well, but there's a few little bits where it doesn't quite sort of hit the good criteria. Okay, so the next is gameplay. So, if we're talking about good gameplay, we're talking about a set of complementary mechanics and smooth, usable controls that leads to meaningful play.
Well, the game, the controls are smooth. I say that and then I just, I think I'm having, so here's my problem, I'm struggling with the meaningful play because, this is like exploration? Why am I going this way? Am I,
yeah, I think that's the biggest problem is that it's just
running around.
There's no motivation.
Yeah.
If it had kind of more of a narrative at the start that said, you must go and find your lion cubs who are the other side of the savannah and not starve on your journey, then I feel like you'd have a bit more of a motivation in the narrative to walk to the right. But instead it's sort of just, I don't know, you do it because it's the only action you can do.
Yes. There is some kind of element of exploration in here, and I'm not enjoying it, actually.
Yeah. There's no clear goal. There's no clear direction to go. So in these sort of paths that loop around, which kind of give you the meaningful choices, we'll come back to that later, but you get some meaningful choices outside of the dialogue by which direction to walk.
Yes.
In terms of the gameplay, sort of talk about it being meaningful, it kind of falls a little bit short there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was satisfactory, then it would be a set of mechanics and usable controls that leads to some meaningful play.
I think we're there.
I think it's there.
I'm stuck.
Yeah, I agree. There's some meaningful play there, but I think there could definitely be some more in terms of kind of motivation and kind of. Your hunger bar also doesn't seem to be going down there.
No, my hunger bar's kind of hanging out there, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So the next, perhaps is coming to the next one is bugs. So if we were talking about a satisfactory for bugs, we'd be saying the game is playable and reasonably complex, but there are infrequent serious bugs and or frequent minor bugs. So Have you noticed any bugs apart from the hunger bar seeming to freeze for a little bit?
Not really. Whoops. Not really. There were occasional lips on some of the jumps that I couldn't jump past. But that wasn't really a bug. That's just where, But otherwise, I think the hunger bar is... Whoa, okay. So this is... I fall into a hunter's trap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The hyenas come and help me. Oh. Okay, so this time, because I didn't just eat all the hyena's food, I got saved. Okay. Okay, so what else do we have to do here? So the story changed a little bit based on my choices. That'll help us in our discussion later.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be a very, sudden at the end. When you reach the end of the game, it's just having me to come up and say, right,
the
now
end.
we're kind of giving you the ending.
Yep.
Yeah. So you also get the kind of bit of story of if you rescue the mouse, then you can get the food from the little holes. And there were those weird walls that you didn't get past. I wonder if that's to do with saving the baby rhino at the start rather than eating it.
Oh, should I not eat the baby?
See what happens if you don't eat it.
All right, I do have a choice this time. I'm not going to eat the baby.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So if we carry on with the mark scheme, we'll talk about the story engine. So good story engine will be an effective story engine that is integrated with the game world. There are some examples where the story impacts the game world and is impacted by events from the game world.
So, I can definitely impact the game, right? I'm going to not eat the baby this time. All right, this poor, naive, help the baby. Oh, am I supposed to go up?
I think so. I think you jump on that platform.
Yeah, you think, huh? You think I can jump on that platform?
Yeah, you go to the right and then kind of come back a bit.
Ah, that one. Okay, I'll go that way.
Yeah, and then up there, and then up there, and up there.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I definitely have some effect on the story, right? I mean, it changed now. The babies were obviously going up to, oh, we're going to go see a mom. Aha, so she'll break it down. Okay. And they're going to force me to choose this. Oops. But I want to do it now. Aha. Look at that. Okay. This is now, I'm actually feeling better about kind of the number of mechanics we've got in our, and my choices at this point definitely have impacted the story. Oh, I don't have my mouse yet.
The mouse is right there. So you should probably either eat the mouse or eat the food, seeing your hunger bar looking after that.
Alright, should I eat the mouse? Alright, I'll eat the mouse. Yummy, yummy. Ooh, the mouse stayed. Oh, no, the mouse left this time. Okay, so now, oh goodness, are we in the, random... How do I get out of here again?
I'm not sure. Towards the right somewhere, I think.
Oh.
I think kind of the platforming here takes a bit of a maze, which I think can be good to keep a bit more interesting gameplay rather than having sort of a series of platforms. But I think with no clear indication of what the goal is, it makes it quite difficult to know what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're talking about the game engine, the story engine, and how it is integrated into the game world. So you can definitely, there's definitely examples where the story impacts the game world. So if you eat the mouse, then you can't get the bits of meat that are in tiny holes. Are there examples where the events, and is impacted by events from the game world? So do events in the game world affect the story?
So, an event in the game world affecting the story in this case. I was already down here. I suppose in this case, there's, I'm not really seeing that part of it, to be honest. I'm definitely seeing my effect on, my choices effect on the story. I'm not entirely seeing the reverse is true. So what are we on if we get to an or in that case?
So with the or, that's the satisfactory, and it's a simple story engine that has limited integration with the game world. There are some examples where the story impacts the game world or is impacted by events from the game world. And I think
It feels about right to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is quite simple. It's a very sort of binary decision of beat or save, and
Yep.
yeah. Oh, we didn't actually decide on something for the bugs. Yeah. So we're saying there's only minor bugs.
Yeah.
Or is it the next one, which is I think the choice between playable and reasonably complex with minor bugs that are uncommon, or playable and reasonably complex, there are no obvious bugs.
So I'm not really seeing any bugs. It's a not very complex game though. Oh look, because I helped it, it's gonna give me a treat. Isn't that nice? And I didn't eat the baby this time. I only ate the meat. Okay, so in this case, because I helped the baby rhino, it not only did it feed me, but is it going to cut the ropes. Okay, so I'm not seeing huge amounts of bugs in this, but I'm not seeing it's not a particularly complex game. So I think we're kind of in the good category on that one.
I think so.
What else do we need to talk about?
Right, we're going to talk about agency.
Yes.
So we have an interactive story with several branching points, some interesting choices, and a few attempts to manage player agency. For example, topology, narrative patterns, illusion of choice, etc.
So this is definitely one where they have tried very hard to use topology to manage my choice. I found it a little frustrating, but that could be because we're missing a map, or it was a little too limited just because we were in a prototype game. But they did attempt to manage my agency through the topology, as well as all the choices that I was given, those very binary choices. So I think they have. So tell me, can you read off the one that has it with using extra things like topology to manage my agency?
Good is using topology to manage player agency, and excellent is an effective system for managing player agency. There's either a few attempts of managing agency or effective system.
I feel like we're in the good category again, and only because it was just too simplistic. That maybe it could have been expanded into other ways, but yeah, the ideas were there. It just needed to be refined a little bit. Okay, what's our next category?
I agree. So our next category after agency is poetics. So narrative and gameplay. So for a good, we would be talking about narrative and gameplay complement one another, as the key mechanics are in keeping with the themes of the story.
So they definitely got the themes absolutely correct. The mechanics in this case, I could ram something with a rhinoceros, I could steal something with a mouse, and I could eat things, as well as jumping and walking. And I could choose when to use those. Each of those things.
The themes of being a lion and eating the babies rather than saving them kind of works in with that decision making.
Yep. So I feel like they actually have a really nice integration between the themes of the story and the mechanics that we've been offered. So I think, what does excellent look like for that one?
So excellent is narrative and gameplay support one another as the mechanics emphasize the themes of the story.
I actually think we're okay with that. I mean, the fact that the rhino that we've helped smashes stuff and the mouse rescues things is exactly right.
Yeah. All ties in quite nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next we've got techniques.
Okay.
So it's talking about, say, for good techniques, would have ascending pacing with a clear final peak and use of more than one game writing technique. For example, dialogues, in-game information, scripted events, cutscenes, in media res, leptus, etc.
So we've had this. In this case, we've had the dialogue boxes.
Yeah.
So we've got one, but we haven't seen any others. So we've got one.
There's
Sorry?
not really any in-game events, are there? 'Cause the
No.
in-game event of eating was just to choose to eat
Yep.
the animal, and then walking over it, it disappears.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Nor do I feel like we have any ascending pacing. It's a very flat-paced piece.
yeah.
So unfortunately, flat
then-
pace, I believe, is down at pass level, and I'm not sure what having one writing narrative does for us. Where does that take us?
Okay, so for a pass, we have the pacing unclear or flat, partially successful attempts to use at least one game writing technique. Or, if it is in the satisfactory, then it is some ascending pacing and use of at least one game writing technique.
I think we're clearly in the satisfactory level.
Yeah, so there's some ascending pacing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it does have a ending. It's just the ending seems to be sprung on you quite
it does.
quickly. There
Yeah,
seems to be no ascending pacing to it. It just suddenly happens.
there we are. Exactly. And you can maybe argue that if that hunger bar moved a little bit more, you might want to hurry up towards the end.
Yeah.
But it's not quite balanced right yet. Okay, what's next?
And the last is the feedback. So if I just get up that document. So in their feedback, they said one piece of feedback we received was that there was much needed reason for the player to choose to eat the animals. Otherwise, there was no good reason to choose it. To do this, we included a hunger system, which decreases as you play and fills up with either food pickups or choosing to eat the animals. The animals will give a greater increase to add further reason to choose to eat them, while food pickups are scarcer and less filling, which also makes the choice more meaningful. So do you agree with that?
I do, but I don't know that it was fully successful, right? So that hunger bar in some way needs to drive me forward. And I think there was a good attempt at it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it's been quite balanced right. So I could, in fact, I think this time I was a completely kind lion, and I didn't eat I did eat the mouse. But I don't think the mouse gave me much in terms of the hunger. So if I played this completely nice, then would I have a different outcome? All the animals, then I'd have two sets of animals to free me. I guess when I didn't eat the mouse, but I ate the other animals, I still died, because the mouse would give me food, but it didn't get me out of the trap. So there's some interesting...
If you completed it quicker,
yeah,
eating the mouse, then you'd have more hunger. I think it's not quite clear how all of the mechanics actually affect the outcome in the story.
Exactly. So I think they've done it with some partial success.
Yeah, okay. So the second bit of feedback they've written is more feedback received said we need to make sure the game is not too linear and just a series of encountering one animal after another. To do this, we adjusted the level design to be more open and branching. So they definitely did that, because you have that choice of going up after seeing
they did.
to the right.
Yep.
It's possible to do most of the encounters in any order with enough backtracking and exploring. Additionally, the encounters you can reach depends on your choices. For example, without the rhino ability, you cannot reach the flamingo. There's a flamingo?
There's a flamingo?
And your first hyena interaction, steal from them, leave them, or do not find them, affects your second.
Right.
Okay.
So again, I think I'm so glad that it's not just a linear walk. That would have been very boring. But again, I'm not entirely sure that the maze, because of the way the maze was implemented, it would have been nice. Do I have a map? Maybe there's a map in it, or maybe there's arrows on the screen that show me there's food. Like I get the smell, right? I smell food in this direction or that direction, and the arrow's a little bit bigger if the food is closer, right? Something that kind of helps me get around this world without a full-on exploration.
Yeah, I think so. And some motivation to do so as well.
Yes.
Rather than sort of just randomly walking and...
Here I go. Getting hungry and hungrier.
So, yeah.
So I think...
If we were
both of them were well expressed, implemented with partially successfully.
Yeah, so that is satisfactory, which is feedback was articulated and some changes have been made with partial success.
Perfect. All right, on to our next game then, I think.
Yeah.
All right, and our third game for this batch is a Traitor's Pride. It's got some very nice background music. Let's play on. Ooh, there's a fable. I see a big scroll here. Oh, I see a heart and a picture frame. Patiently trained for many months. One day he hears his former pride is being hunted. Oh no. Ooh, the music has changed a little bit. It's also getting louder. We're doing WASD to move and a left click to attack. Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I'm going to spare it this time. How do I choose that one? All right. Okay, so already I now have to go between the mouse and my WASD to click on the dialogues.
Okay.
So I'm a bird as well as a lion is my trait. Right click on a trait skill. So I can be wrathful, create a high damage shockwave, kind, spare low health enemies in front of the lion, cunning, camouflage yourself to hide, and charm. Okay, so I maybe want to collect some traits. Oh, I can't go that way. Can't go that way. Oh, I can go into the grass. An ant's nest. But I can't go that way. Okay, alright, sorry. I like the lion, he's very cute. Okay, so here's actually, this is an information design problem. So it all looks like grass, but I cannot go that way. I can go that way, right? There's no delineations into what I can and cannot do in some places. So I could walk over the grass here, but I can't walk over it that way, right? So there's some strange pieces. Uh-oh, that looks like a net to me, doesn't it to you?
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna have to. Oh well. Oh, luckily I have the mouse. Oh, ouch, ouch. It's totally eating me. I don't know if I'm eating it properly back, but you know. Oh, look, a little tug. Now that we've heard some of the sounds, I'm just going to do a quick, low on the volume. So basically at this point there's some nice background noises, the dialogue box has come up with a sound, and that attack. Oh, I'm more charming now. Oh, there's a bird over there. I want that bird. So look, that, okay, so this. Oh no! I feel more kind.
Oh, you feel more cunning.
Okay, so I feel cunning and I feel kind, and it's changing kind of what I am over here. But I haven't had to, like, I don't seem to have a choice. It's basically I can't choose one. It just happens as I...
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect where you seem to get these traits depending on what you've done. Like that.
But I can't keep them, right? So how will I know what to use them?
Yeah.
So I am more kind. So how do I get to do it by right-clicking. Ah. I thought I was more kind. No? I'm definitely doing something. My blue sparks come out. But, does not seem to have any effect. Okay. So I need to be more kind. Can't go this way.
Boulder.
I'll just go around the boulder. Oh, spider web. Oh, I was charming and not kind. I see.
Okay. But you've done quite a few things that have made you kind before. But have you got more charmingness than kindness?
I think it's because the last thing I did was charming.
Ah, okay.
And that's the problem, right? So it's very much what was the last thing you did, as opposed to, as opposed to, do I have a stock of charmingness or a stock of kindness? Oh, I feel more kind. Wait, what was I supposed to do for kind? Do I want to go back here and try? Was it kind that I need to move the boulder?
Yeah, it was.
Well, let's go back and move a boulder. Why not, right?
Yeah, now you can.
Oh.
Okay, so because you're kind, you get past the boulder. And now you just get attacked by a boulder.
Yeah, I needed that. I haven't seen any way to kind of improve my health, so it's basically just try to avoid those things, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, am I back in the same place? I'm so lost in where I am.
Okay. Down there?
I don't know.
Left?
Left? Is this left?
Left?
Am I going left?
Maybe?
Whoa! Whoa! Something's really hurting me. Oh, I think I might have won.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The end.
Right. Okay.
I think I might have to restart the game since there's no kind of replay or... Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I think this passed through. We've seen a whole chunk of it. While I wander around this kingdom making new choices, why don't we go through the marking criteria?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, we have the quality criteria with the sub-criteria of presentation. So if we go start in satisfactory, we have key information is shown, consistent graphics, some audio.
So the graphics are consistent. There is indeed some audio, and it's audio in different ways, so it's not just background music. There's, you know, as I move things, as I kill things, as I attack things, or things attack me. It whoa! I have a death skull now. It changes depending on what's around, and nicely in this case. We just worked through where last time I didn't eat the mouse and there was a boulder, whereas I ate the mouse this time and I was easily able to, the ant's nest. I was able to get through the ant's nest because I was wrathful. So
okay.
In that first section, it obviously teaches, I'm going to pick a side this time. Weirdly, so on this one, I feel more charming no matter which way. Sorry, I know we were talking about information design, but I want to highlight this. I feel more charming no matter what I do to the crows. So the last time I flattered them both and I felt more charming. And this time I told the victor he was right and I feel more charming. So we need to remember this one for a little bit later.
Yeah.
So we were talking about information design. So in this case, I have a nice heart, a health bar. I have in my picture over here exactly whether I'm charming or wrathful or... I guess charming is the white heart and wrathful is the skull.
Yeah.
I know
think
which...
One bit of...
Go ahead.
One bit of criticism I've got, I think, is the graphics seem to not be the most consistent. So I think they've gone for the kind of the pixel arty graphics, but then there's some textures seem to be quite stretched. It looks like they've had to hand draw some of them and they don't kind of all mesh together.
So one of the things that I'm finding difficult on this one is, and I think I'm going to put it in for information design, is knowing when the boundaries of things are. So we talked about it earlier. There were some various boundaries that were not necessarily a fence. They were not necessarily a bush. In this case, there's some nice boundaries, and I'm seeing them because I'm hemmed in. But earlier, I was hitting problems where I thought I was, or could or should walk around, and it wasn't clear that I could, nor was there a visual statement of my bounds. So, see, like that. Am I supposed to not be able to go around there? I don't know.
Okay.
So
that's interesting. You just did that and I said you feel kind.
I know. I thought I ate the fruit. You know, I assumed that I chose the wrong one, but okay, so there might be Okay.
Alright, okay. So, so if it was satisfactory, we'd be saying that key information is shown, which I think is right. It kind of says what status you're currently in, and you get the key choice of the decisions about the sort of scenario when you bump into someone, and you've got the sort of two options to choose between. The health bar is quite nicely shown at the top.
Yep.
So I think the information is shown, with a few sort of issues with the hitboxes, like what to move through. And the graphics are mostly consistent. And the audio, I can't hear from...
It's very nice. It's cute.
Okay, good. Okay, so do you think satisfactory, or should we have a look at good?
Let's look at good really quickly.
So good is key information is shown clearly, graphics are consistent, appropriate use of audio.
I think we're in good. I think they've done actually a decent job. You know, as I'm fighting these awful bugs, the little brown bars come up as I'm really just not being destroyed here. So yeah, I think we're in the good category. What's next?
Okay, so next is the gameplay. So for satisfactory gameplay, we would have a set of mechanics and usable controls that lead to some meaningful play.
I think we're better than that.
Yeah. Okay, so and then above that we've got the good, which is a set of complementary mechanics and smooth, usable controls that lead to meaningful play.
Yeah, I think we're probably in there.
Yeah.
I'm struggling a little bit with the meaningful play. The controls weren't exactly great, but I don't think we're as far down as a satisfactory.
Should we get halfway between the two?
I don't think so. I think we're okay on the good. So this time it looks like I just lost outright, that the game is just over.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be nice to have some more like story in the game over, rather than just a big sort of game over saying that, well, if you've got like these scrolls coming up for each event, it could be like the lion didn't successfully make his way through the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not... Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of, sort of fit that story engine in with the ending, even if you've...
just died by running out of health points, exactly.
Yeah. So as for bugs... so if you were good for bugs, would have the game is playable and is reasonably complex. There are only minor bugs, and these are uncommon.
So I'm struggling with the bug thing. We've seen a couple places. So the squirrel is one of the one where I'm going to return it. Oh, I returned the fruit. Oh, never mind. I must have chosen the other one. I'm struggling with sometimes just being able to forced into these where I'm going, but there are no major ones. It's fairly complex. I walk around. There's lots of different characters. There's interactive dialogues. So I think could you read me good, please, or excellent?
So that was good. Excellent is the game is playable and reasonably complex. There are no obvious bugs.
Okay.
So, I think good kind of fits. The hitboxes kind of do count as a bug.
Yeah.
is minor and it's not everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Good is a good place for that. Okay, so then the story engine part of the mark scheme. So a good story engine would be an effective story engine that is integrated with the game world. There are some examples where the story impacts the game world and it's impacted by events from the game world.
So I'm definitely able to move into the game world in different ways if I have. So for example, I have a choice here. I can threaten or explain. If I threaten, I'm going to feel more wrathful. Let's see what happens if I do an explain. Oh, I'm feeling more charming. So I have a choice. I have a choice at various points, but I often don't know what that choice really is, right? So I only knew that one because I've interacted twice with that character in different ways.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
It's not.
I'm struggling with the meaningfulness, exactly.
And action.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there are definitely different paths in this world that are, like, so for example, there's a path over here, and I can't remember how to get there. One way is blocked by the boulder, and the other way is blocked by something else. And I need charm for one, and I need wrath for the other. So I need to go around and find a character who's going to effectively give me charm. But the other reason, I'm interacting with these characters, and besides doing that opens a path, like, I'm not entirely sure that I'm influencing the story in any way. So I think we're definitely down in the or categories. We're not at the and.
Yeah, so that's down to satisfactory, which is a simple story engine that has limited integration with the game world. There are some examples where the story impacts the game world or is impacted by events from the game world.
Yeah, I think that's where we are. We're at the ors. Okay, and what else is there?
So next is the agency. So for agency, we'd have an interactive story with several branching points, some interesting choices, and a few attempts to manage player agency. For example, topology, narrative patterns, illusion of choice, etc.
So they're definitely trying to manage me with topology in this, and actually doing a fairly good job, right? I have to, but it's not so much that I have to make any kind of moral choice or anything else. It's that I have to remember where on the map is a character that has a choice that will either give me one of the keys that effectively unlocks this door. So I'm not in any way, like, there's no narrative component to this. I just have to remember. It's basically, you could substitute this with no narrative, and you could say, you need to go remember where the blue orb or the green orb is.
Yeah.
Right? And then you need to go, and that's could be a perfectly fine game, but I'm not entirely sure that it is what we're asking for in a narrative arc. So on the agency for this, they do try to keep me going in one direction, with topology. Or what else is there? So we're definitely at least that.
Yeah. So topology, narrative patterns, and illusion of choice.
There definitely is an illusion of choice. It doesn't really matter what I do to these characters, does it?
Yeah. No, I feel like the text is almost like not. I don't know. There isn't like any meaningful choice being set up by the text. It's saying like do this or that, but there isn't really a clear motivation to do one or the other because you kind of just need to do one of them to get through a part.
And to be honest, all I need to do is to get here with enough health. Right?
Yeah.
So the point is stay away from those bitey bugs. And if I can stay away from the bitey bugs enough, then I could go anywhere I want. And I can do anything I want. So,
you had when you went down the Wrath routes.
Yep, I'm on Wrathful route now.
Yeah. So there was something about having a ability to. It's like there's a red circle around you at one point. Is that?
So if I'm wrathful, they told me something about wrathful. Like, I think I might do a little bit more damage or something like that. But I didn't see anything coming up on me.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep wrath. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to keep wrath.
So in theory, if you're wrathful, you should be better at fighting bugs. And it seems to be that they die a bit quicker.
Maybe. Yeah. Do we remember how to get to the hunter? Oh, okay, here's the eggs. Okay, so anyways, where we were on agency. I'm so sorry. We were on agency.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, so we were basically talking about there being branching points, interesting choices, and the attempts to manage player agency. So I feel like there are branching points.
There are.
You have choices in the topology of which way to go, and you have choices in the dialogue of what to choose.
Yeah, but I'm not sure
interesting.
I guess choosing which way to go is agency of a sort, isn't it?
But I think it's more the interesting choices that is kind of...
Yeah,
it doesn't really feel like you know when you're doing something what effect that has on you.
Yes,
and what effect that has
exactly
down the road.
Exactly. I think that's where the problem comes in. So we do have choices, but we're not necessarily interesting right now. So where are we if we go... What's up a little bit from that? Well, I don't want to touch anybody.
So the satisfactory is an interactive story with several branching points and some interesting choices. It doesn't have the attempts to manage player agency though in the satisfactory section. In the good section is the same but with the attempts to manage player agency.
I think we're in satisfactory.
Yeah. Or the pass is talking about having few interesting choices. But I think we've got the agency, but we don't have the interesting choices, so yeah, satisfactory.
Yeah.
Okay. The next was... so, if we went for satisfactory for poetics, we were talking about narrative and gameplay do not interfere with one another, but the key mechanics have little to do with the themes of the story. So I think what's kind of a bit jarring sometimes is, so you come across a boulder, and rather than being wrathful to destroy the boulder, you have to be kind to get someone to move out of the way.
Yeah.
I feel like there's kind of a bit of a jarring sensation there, because earlier you had that anthill, which made a bit more sense that you could destroy the anthill if you were wrathful. But I feel like being the biggest animal in the Savanna, or being a lion, you kind of would be in the prime position to move the boulder out of the way. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So in this case, I became cunning, but I've lost my... I wanted to stay wrathful. So I didn't actually have a lot of agency there, right? So I wanted to be a hugely wrathful critter. I'm gonna fight. Oh, here, good. I'm more wrathful now. So I've gone back to wrathful. But again, this didn't feel necessarily meaningful. It just happened.
And also, you've got the mechanics of fighting in this game, but when you click fight, it just makes the rhino disappear. Or elephant, whatever that was. So I feel like...
But I did get a different ending here. So now I'm a tyrannical dictator. Probably because I ended with a wrathful as opposed to charming or kind on my itinerary list.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to get to the ending without accidentally doing something. I feel like each decision is a binary decision, but there's 4 paths to go down.
Yeah.
So it means if you get to a decision, you might not necessarily be able to choose something that aligns with what you're going for.
Yep. Yeah, and again, it does feel kind of like, I just went along and I picked this thing up, right? I picked up the blue orb versus the green orb, and I suppose I could choose to go back and pick up the green orb and not carry the blue orb anymore. But it's that alone changes the ending. So I kind of feel like we're missing some of this kind of meaningfulness in terms of choices around the narrative. And and how the mechanics and the narrative themes tie together. So, can you read it past to me?
The pass, yeah. So the pass is narrative and gameplay have some conflicts. Some of the mechanics go against the themes of the story.
I think we're better than that.
Yeah. So I think the difference between a pass and a satisfactory is a pass is where the mechanics and the story are kind of fighting each other, and a satisfactory is where they kind of sit alongside each other without actually affecting. They don't interfere.
I think we're likely there.
Yeah.
Which has kind of been our struggle all along, hasn't it? That they're really not enhancing each other in any way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, and there are techniques. So in the techniques, so if we have the good techniques, we have the ascending pacing with a clear final peak, and the use of more than one game writing technique, for example, dialogues, in-game information, scripted events, cutscenes, in media res, and ellipsis.
So in a way, so they definitely have the dialogues and the before and after. I mean, do we consider this a dialogue box, or is this like a cutscene in some way? So
Yeah.
It's a cutscene, really, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So they effectively are showcasing two techniques, but I don't see any pacing in this at all. And that's actually, it's probably one of the big problems. So I would say that the pacing is very flat, but they do have multiple techniques. So where does that? I believe one of them is the flat pacing is around the pass, and then the other one is up at the good. So we might just be at satisfactory.
Yeah, so satisfactory is some ascending pacing and use of at least one game writing technique.
Right.
And yeah, but the flat pacing is in a pass, which also talks about having partially successful attempts to use at least one game writing technique.
Right. So basically, we're from the pass side. We're taking it's completely flat in terms of pace, and on the good side, we're taking that they've got two different ways of doing the narrative, and that effectively is putting us an average in the middle of a satisfactory for this particular component.
Yeah.
All right, and I believe feedback is next.
Yes. So with the feedback, we have their response to the feedback is there were two main pieces of feedback received at the lab. When we approached them, we had the idea of the trait events, but hadn't come up the idea of allowing the traits to open up the branching paths. The moderator brought forward the point that not only does the narrative need to impact the game, but also vice versa. This leads us to the idea of the trait being the thing that allows you to access a particular path. The other thing addressed was the fact we originally wanted a randomly generated world, however this was just a prototype and we were told to keep it simple and to focus on core mechanics and narrative. If we were to make this into a full game, I believe a roguelike structure with procedurally generated world would be more suitable to allow for replayability.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm actually kind of glad they didn't on that. Because the only thing that's actually, I think, that is making me, or allows me to have some agency and meaningful choice here, is now that I know the map, I can choose which character to go to get the key to open up the bit of the map that I want to go to. And in a procedurally generated world, it would either take me more time to learn that, or it might not exist in a way that I could get back to, or that I could learn in a game situation. And so I'm kind of glad they didn't try. I think that actually would have hurt their game a bit more. Okay.
Yeah, and as for the sort of branching paths, I feel like the branching paths don't really... It does branch out depending on what trait you are. It depends which routes you can go down, but it doesn't really feel any more than the lock and key or the coloured orbs you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
It seems to be sort of just an arbitrary decision. So I think they've maybe not implemented it in the best way. So a satisfactory in the feedback is the feedback was articulated and some changes have been made with partial success.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I think that's exactly right.
Wonderful.
Alrighty then, I think that was the end of this batch of gameplays. Join us for the next one.